Hi friends, good morning. So guys, today let's start with a new standard. So which standard we will be taking up? We will be starting with Essay 620. Okay, so give the heading guys, Essay 620. Okay. So now what does Essay 620 talks about? So give the heading guys, Essay 620 talks about using the work of auditor's expert using the work of auditor's expert Okay, so now question arises, many students will immediately have a thinking, sir, what is expert? So basically, what is the meaning of this word expert? Now expert means what? Okay, so let's understand this word expert. Now guys, understand the word expert we will understand through its classification only, meaning the word expert has been classified into two types. Okay, the word expert has been classified into two types. One is management expert. Okay, the second one is auditor's expert. Okay, one is management expert, the another one is auditor's expert. But before this, so let's understand in a layman language guys. Now who is this expert? Okay, expert means who, sir? Okay, simple. See, I will tell you basically a profession, maybe immediately you will get in your mind that person is an expert. Okay, so in layman language we will try to understand. For example, let us say cricket. Okay, so who is an expert guys? So immediately some people will start telling that, sir, in case of cricket, Sachin Tendulkar is an expert. Now some people may say that, no sir, MS Dhoni is an expert. Some people may say that, sir, Virat Kohli is an expert. So meaning you understood this, basically expert means we have some person in our brain able to understand this. Now let us say basically, for example, if I say basically a singer, okay, maybe for example Bollywood singer, so some people may immediately get into their mind Sonu Nigam is an expert. Okay, so meaning in singing Sonu Nigam is an expert. Some people may say Lata Mangeshkar is an expert. Okay, meaning a particular profession, some students will have a thinking. For example, if I say audit, who is an expert in audit? Some people may say Lokesh sir is an expert. Okay, yes, maybe, like basically what happens, so some people will immediately have this thinking guys, able to understand this. Now to understand this in a much better manner, okay, so basically from the layman language, if I come to the definitions part, now who is a management expert, who is an auditor's expert, let's understand this. But in simple terms I can say expert means a person having specialized skill or knowledge, he is called as an expert. Okay, for example, so basically just remember, for the time being, expert means a person having a specialized skill or a knowledge. Now when I say management expert, who is a management expert? Now the definition, they define something like this. Management expert means he may be, look at the words what I am saying, he may be an individual or an organization. He may be an individual or an organization who is having specialized skill or knowledge, who is having specialized skill or knowledge. I am repeating this particular part. A particular management expert, we are discussing the definition of management expert. Who is a management expert? He may be an individual or he may be an organization who is having specialized skill or knowledge in any field. So let me continue with the definition. Okay, specialized skill or knowledge in any field other than accounts and audit. In any field other than accounts and audit, and whose work is used in preparation of financial statements of the entity, whose work is used in the preparation of financial statements of an entity. Let's understand this definition clearly guys. When I say management expert, so we are discussing the definition of management expert. Management expert means basically they specify something like this: he may be an individual or an organization who is having specialized skill or knowledge. Already I have said, guys, so person basically with specialized skill, like basically a profession, we'll get a person in our mind able to understand. So he is having some specialized skill or knowledge in which field, sir? It may be in any field, guys. Expert means he may be having specialized skill or knowledge in any field, but other than accounts and audit. Now some students will have a doubt, sir, why other than accounts and audit? Guys, understand here, other than accounts and audit. Why? Because in accounts and audit, we chartered accountants are considered as an expert. At least two professions should be left to us. Okay, sorry, two aspects to be left to us, right? So basically accounts and audit, basically we are considered as an expert. Okay, that's why basically the definition says what? It is other than accounts and audit, but whose work is used. For what purpose we are hiring an expert? His work is used in the preparation of financial statements of the entity. Able to understand this? For this purpose, basically management is hiring an expert. That person is called as management expert. Able to understand this? So management expert means what, sir? He may be an individual or he may be an organization who is having specialized skill or knowledge in any field other than accounts and audit, and whose work is used in the preparation of financial statements of an entity. Okay, we will take some examples also, don't worry regarding this. Okay, first let me come to the other part now. Now when we say auditors expert, okay, now when we say auditors expert, understand here, guys. Now what is the definition of auditors expert? Same definition except purpose changes. Okay, now for example, when I say auditors expert also, they define something like this: he may be an individual, he may be an individual or organization, he may be an individual or organization, an individual or an organization who is having specialized skill. Okay, so I am repeating once again, guys. So auditors expert means what? Again the same definition, only the purpose changes. Auditors expert means an individual or an organization who is having a specialized skill or knowledge, a specialized skill or knowledge in any field. Okay, in any field other than, in any field other than accounts and audit, other than accounts and audit, whose work is used, whose work is used as an audit evidence, whose work is used as an audit evidence. So this is what is important. So basically here what they are trying to tell, whose work is used as an audit evidence. Okay, so I am repeating this particular concept once again. So auditors expert also means what? He may be an individual or he may be an organization. It may be an organization who is having specialized skill or knowledge. Again, it may be in any field other than accounts and audit. Why, guys? Accounts and audit, we chartered accountants are considered as an expert. Remember, guys, let me clarify here. Except for accounts and audit, we are not expert in any other areas. For example, if you say basically, sir, are chartered accountants expert for law? Answer is no. Advocates are expert. Able to understand this? So basically you have to be very clear in this aspect. So with respect to accounts and audit only, we are experts. Okay, so now whose work is used as an audit evidence, this is very important. So we are using the work of an expert as an audit evidence. If I am using the work of an expert as an audit evidence, then that expert is called as what? So that expert is called as auditor's expert. Okay, so we will take some examples and we will try to understand. Now let us say the situation is something like this, guys. Okay, situation is something like this: management of X Limited. Okay, management of X Limited has hired, okay, so management of X Limited has hired, or basically I can say instead of hired, so basically they have consulted. Okay, so basically they have gone for a consultation, okay, to Mr. A, to Mr. A to value the land and building. okay, to value land and building. So let us say if this is the situation, okay, the company basically what they have done, they have a land and building, they don't know what is the valuation of it, and they want to basically have a disclosure in their financial statements. Let us say basically they want to have a disclosure. Okay, so in this particular scenario, if they want to disclose basically the market value of land and building, and if management of X Limited says, "Arey, we don't know the exact value of it," then in this case, what they have done, they have approached to Mr. A to basically know what is the value of their land and building. Now understand this, guys. Now Mr. A, what he will do? Okay, so after taking all the details, what he will do, guys? Now that person will give a certificate. Okay, so he will give a certificate saying that, okay, the value of the land and building, let us say basically it's 100 crores. Okay, so I'm saying basically example wise, so basically let us say they specify it as 100 crores. Okay, now in this particular scenario, if they specify it as 100 crores, now what X Limited will do, they will take this information and they use it, while preparing financial statements. If this is the case, okay, if this is the case, then it is called as what? Then Mr. A is called as what? A is called as management expert. I hope you're getting the point very clearly. So Mr. A is called as what? He is called as a management expert. Understood this particular aspect, everyone? Okay, so why, sir? If you look at the definition, now what is the definition, guys? So management expert means he may be an individual or an organization who is having specialized skill or knowledge in any field other than accounts and audit, but whose work is used in the preparation of financial statements of the entity. Able to understand this? If a person's work has been used in the preparation of financial statements of an entity, then in this particular case, he is called as what? Management expert. Understood this particular concept, everyone? As simple as this, guys. Okay, so now let's understand then basically who is an auditor's expert, sir? A number of examples you can take. So let us say, for example, now we will go to auditor's expert. Who is an auditor's expert, sir? Now let's understand this very clearly. Now let us say, okay, same example, I am continuing. So I am the auditor of X Limited. So I am the auditor of X Limited. Now let us say basically X Limited, same example I am saying. Let us say they have made the market value of that particular land and building disclosure in their financial statements as 100 crores. Okay, they have disclosed it as 100 crores. Now as an auditor, now I get a doubt. What is the doubt I'm getting? Array, this land and building doesn't have even 10 crores worth. Now these fellows have shown 100 crores worth, meaning the people of X Limited, the management of X Limited has overvalued the asset. This is what the thinking I am getting as an auditor. Now what I will do, guys? Now simple thing. So now as an auditor, let us say now I will basically go to Mr. B. I will go to Mr. B and then basically I will ask Mr. B, okay boss, please tell me the value of land and building of so and so area. Able to understand this? So I will basically give the information and then basically what I will do, guys, I will basically want to know the valuation of the land and building. Now let us say Mr. B also says, example, let us say Mr. B also says, no Lokesh, their valuation of rupees 100 crores is correct. Okay, so then what I will do, guys? Okay, so their expert is also saying 100 crores and my expert is also saying 100 crores. Now tell me, will I take this as audit evidence or not? Yes, definitely I will take it as audit evidence. Able to understand? Now once I take it as an audit evidence, now basically Mr. B is called as what? He is called as auditor's expert. I hope you are getting the concept, guys. He is called as an auditor's expert. Why? Because the valuation certificate what he is giving, I am taking that as an audit evidence. Now if that is the scenario, then basically that person Mr. B is called as what? He is called as an auditor's expert. I hope you are getting the clarity in this. Clear? Okay, now there is one more thing, guys. Now you have to be very clear. Okay, see, basically let me basically little bit complicate the things. Okay, now let us say, now the situation arises as an auditor, I feel, array, why I want to go to Mr. B? Okay, let us say, because see, understand here, if I hire an expert, if I go for a consultation for an expert, obviously as an auditor I have to pay the money to expert. Able to understand this, client will not give that money, so I have to pay that money to the expert. Now as an auditor, what I start doing is something like this, guys. Now I feel, chalo, what we will do, Mr. A has been already hired by the management. He is giving 100 crores basically certificate. Matlab he is giving a certificate saying that valuation of that land and building is basically what? So 100 crores. A report or a certificate is giving saying that 100 crores is the word. Now question arises, as an auditor, can I use the work of Mr. A? As an auditor of X Limited, can I use management experts work? Can I use management's expert work? Answer is yes, no problem. I can use his work, and basically, see, again guys, understand here, either I have basically I hire Mr. A, or basically I go for consultation with Mr. A, or I go for consultation to Mr. B. Understand here, as an auditor, I am not a fool that I will trust it blindly. Obviously, I will be doing my work and then only I will trust it. Able to understand, let us be very clear on this. I will do my work and I will trust it. Only question what I am asking is, instead of I am again basically going to another person for consultation, can I use the person's work whose management has already basically asked him? Like in our example, management of X Limited has already asked Mr. A to give the valuation of it. Okay, as an auditor, can I use Mr. A's work? Answer is yes. In this case, Mr. A will also be called as what? A will also be called as auditor's expert. A will also be called as what? He will be called as auditor's expert. Why? Because I am using his work as an audit evidence, meaning the management expert can also be the auditor expert if I use his work as an audit evidence instead of going to some other person. Little bit technical, but you have to understand, no other option. Got clarity here, guys, everyone? Okay, sir, this is fine. Now the question arises, sir, what is that I will do before I trust the valuation of an expert? Okay, definitely I will come to that particular aspect, guys. First, basically, let's get the clarity here. So here in simple terms, again, I'm repeating this. If as an auditor, I want to use the work of an expert. Okay, then what I will do, guys, I can basically go to a new person altogether, use his work. Okay, so in this case he will be called as auditor's expert because I'm using his work as an audit evidence. Okay, second thing, what I have, management experts person's work, I can use it. In this case he will be called as again auditor's expert, meaning as an auditor I can use management expert work also, but if I use his work as an audit evidence, then he will be also called as auditor's expert. Okay, but whoever the person is, understand this, guys, I will not trust any person's work blindly. Able to understand why, sir? Simple, guys, as an auditor my responsibility is not reduced if I use auditor's expert work. Okay, it may be Mr. A in our example, or it may be Mr. B in our example. Able to understand this? So basically, as an auditor my responsibility will not get reduced. That's why basically what happens, I have to do some work, meaning I have to perform some audit procedures before I rely on the work of an expert. Able to understand this? I have to perform audit procedures before I rely on the work of an expert. That aspect also we will be coming down. Able to understand this particular concept, guys, everyone? Very, very important, which you have to know. Clear this particular part, everyone? Okay, okay, sir, this is fine. Now let's understand this, guys. Okay, now the question arises, if you look at the heading, okay, SS 620 talks about whom? Using the work of auditor's expert, meaning basically here auditor's expert, the standard only talks about auditor's expert, that is discussed in SS 620. Able to understand this? SS 620, whether it talks about management expert, answer is no. Just a definition basically which I have discussed, this definition. Then sir, management expert, where it is discussed, sir? This is discussed in SF 500. In SF 500 they have discussed this management expert, just a definition they have given and they have left it. Understood this particular aspect, everyone? Okay sir, this is fine. Now let's move forward with respect to our aspect SS 620. Now what happens, understand here guys. Now here they specify auditors expert. Okay, so auditors expert again has been classified into two. Auditors expert again has been classified into two. Internal auditors expert, internal auditors expert, external auditors expert, internal auditors expert, then external auditors expert. So let's understand this clearly. Internal auditors expert and external auditors expert. Okay, so first you can make a note of this guys. I hope if you have not written this, so this chart will be useful guys. So just you can pause the video and you can write it down. Okay, so you can make a note of this guys. Okay, okay, example also I have shown to you, so then you can write down, you can make a note of this as well. Okay, so I hope you have written guys. So now let's understand who is an, or matlab basically who is an internal auditors expert and who is an external auditors expert. So the definition wise what they have said, internal auditors expert means an expert, an expert who is a part of audit team, an expert who is a part of audit team. So that person is called as internal auditors expert. Now the question arises guys, who is an external auditors expert? I hope you might have guessed the answer. Okay, external auditors expert means an expert who is not a part of audit team. Okay, who is not a part of audit team. Able to understand this? Okay, so meaning what guys, actually let's understand here. It's simple guys, what exactly it happens. Let us say, see, every time basically I want an expert who wants to basically do valuation of land and building. Let us say I have 20 clients, all the 20 clients, okay, the building valuation every time they do, so automatically I also want a person to do the valuation of those land and building. So if the work of an expert for me as an auditor is of a recurring nature, then in this case I will hire an expert, I will make him as part of my audit team. Okay, so that every time I should not approach, I should not waste my time. So meanwhile what I do, I will basically hire and I will keep it in my team. Able to understand? External auditors expert means a person who is not part of my audit team, meaning the work of that expert is not recurring for me. Able to understand? Only sometimes I need his help, then in this case I will go to him at that point of time. Why should I hire and why should I pay basically salary to him? I hope you're getting the point. So meaning is what you have to take into consideration internal auditors expert, also you have to take into consideration external auditors expert. It is based on the work of the auditor, what necessary, matlab how many times it is necessary for the auditor to use the work of an expert. Able to understand? So based on the recurring nature, I can say this has been classified. Okay, remember guys, both basically is part of, it is dealing within SS 620 itself. Understood this particular aspect everyone? As simple as this. Okay guys, now let's understand the next aspect. Now what is the next aspect? The very important part is what? Now as I have already said guys, what is that I have said? I have said very clearly, like as an auditor, so basically I will make a note of it as well. Okay, so statutory auditor, that is myself. Statutory auditor's responsibility is not reduced, statutory auditor's responsibility is not reduced by relying on an auditor's expert work. Okay, so my responsibility is not divided. So let us be very clear on this. My responsibility is not divided. So that's why basically what happens, guys, now I have to be careful. Meaning now as an auditor, I have to exercise attitude of professional skepticism. Matlab I have to do some work, and then basically by doing that work, in short, that is nothing but some precautions I have to take, and then I will decide whether to use the work of an expert or not. Able to understand this particular point? As simple as this, guys. Okay sir, what is that basically I have to do? Okay, now for this let's understand here auditors procedures. Auditors procedures in case of SS 620. So what is the work I have to do? Auditors procedures in case of SS 620. So what is the work I have to do before I rely on the work of an expert? Understood everyone? Okay sir, now what is that I have to do? Now let's understand this particular point, guys. Let's understand one by one. First thing basically what I will do, I will check the competence, capability. I will check the competence, capability and objectivity of auditor's expert. So first I will check this. I will check the competence, capability and objectivity of auditor's expert. Able to understand this particular? Now what is meant by competence? Okay, competence is nothing but qualification. Competence is nothing but qualification. Capability is nothing but skills, ability to do the work. Okay, objectivity is nothing but what, guys? It is nothing but unbiasedness. It is nothing but unbiasedness. Able to understand? So qualification, skills and unbiasedness. So first thing what I will do, let us say in our example already we have said, so basically let us say example I'm taking Mr. B. He has given me basically 100 crores valuation report. Okay, so now before I rely, first what I will do, I will check whether that person who has done the building valuation, that is civil constructor, civil engineering person, okay, so whether he is having completed his engineering degree, qualification has been done. Okay, so basically civil construction degree whether he is having or not. So basically I will check that qualification. I will check. I will also check his skills, guys, meaning whether he is a paper presenter in any of the seminars. It may be local, national or international level. Why sir? Maybe like if he is a paper presenter matlab speaker. Able to understand this? So whether he is a speaker in any of the seminars in this particular field. Okay, why sir? Because maybe if he is a speaker, he will have some specialized knowledge. Able to understand? So that I will say. And also I will check unbiasedness, whether he is linked with my basically client or not. So unbiasedness, that is objectivity. So by doing this, what happens? Some reliability factor will get established. Able to understand this particular? Very, very important, guys. Okay, so first aspect. Second, what I will do, okay, what I will do, I will understand the auditor's expert work. I will understand the auditor's expert work by holding discussions. Very, very important. By holding discussions, meaning what I will do, guys. So let us say he has given 100 crores ka valuation. Okay, now I will discuss with him. I will ask him, sir, how did you get this 100 crores valuation? Okay, by discussing with him, I will come to know chalo, whether I can rely or not. For example, let us say situation is something like this. Okay, what happens? Okay, so basically let us say I asked him, sir, how did you get the valuation? Now he says, Lokesh, every time a land and building is measured by L into B. Okay, so basically length into breadth. Now what you have done, so you have given 30 by 40 site. Able to understand? Meaning 1200 SFT, Lokesh. So half work you have only done, you have given exact measurement of that land and building. Expert is telling this to me. Now what he says, Lokesh, I went to particular that area, I went into that particular area, then I took the market value of that particular area's land and building, market value per SFT I have taken. So what I have done, that value multiplied by 1200 SFT, which is your land, basically which is your client's land and building. I have multiplied and I have given you the valuation report. Now guys, don't you think now by this I will get some more clarity as to how did he get this 100 crores valuation or not? Answer is yes. Able to understand this, guys? If you see basically in costing also, like basically we do these type of problems. Okay, same thing. So basically here it's something like this. So by holding discussions with him, we will understand, oh, this is how he has made the valuation. Understood everyone? Okay, then what happens? Then basically I will have agreement. I will have agreement with auditor's expert. I will have agreement with auditor's expert. Sir, for what purpose I will have agreement, sir? Simple, guys. Okay, to basically specify his roles, to specify his responsibilities. Okay, to specify. Okay, that boss, you have to maintain confidentiality. You have to maintain confidentiality. I will specify whenever I want in future, I will use your name also. For this I will have an agreement with him. Okay, so whereby I can be protected myself. Understood everyone? So roles, responsibilities, confidentiality, I will also specify in the agreement very clearly. Whenever I want, I will use your name also. Able to understand this? So this is very important. Now some students will immediately have a doubt, sir, when you are saying confidentiality. Okay, auditor by disclosing the information of the client to third party, expert is a third party. Okay, so whether am I breaching the confidentiality principle? Answer is no, guys. Why? Array boss, if you remember SA 210, okay, so SA 210 agreeing the terms of audit engagement letter, meaning what happens, guys, in the audit engagement letter, we might have already written a condition that whenever we want, we will take expert opinion. That's why as an auditor, I didn't breach the confidentiality. I hope you're getting the point clearly. Okay. Okay, sir. And the last one, what I will do, I will evaluation of data and assumptions. I will evaluate the data and assumptions used in auditors experts work. Now what I will do, guys, I will also evaluate the data and assumptions. Like for example, let us say he says market value per SFT he has identified. Now guys, don't you think as an auditor I can also inquire about this matter or not? Yes. Why? Because I will not trust blindly. Please understand, my responsibility is not reduced. So why will I trust blindly? So in this case, what I will do, guys, I will also basically see the data, the assumptions, whatever he has used, whether in this particular scenario, the data and assumptions what he has used, whether that is appropriate or not. As an auditor, I will also check this matter. I hope you're getting the point here. So this is what I will do. Now tell me, guys, by doing all this, okay, by doing all this, don't you think as an auditor, now I get my confidence or not? Yes, boss, I can rely. Or boss, no, I cannot rely. Able to understand this particular case. Now what happens? Let us say I decided to rely. Then in this case, what happens? So I will take this as audit evidence. Able to understand. Now what happens? Like for example, the same situation what I have told. So the same situation I'm going back again. Okay, now what happens? Okay, my expert who gave 100 crores valuation. So basically he gave 100 crores valuation. Okay, so in this particular scenario, what happens? I do all that work, audit procedures I do, and then I can rely on this. Okay, and now I see, boss, what is the amount disclosed by the client? He has also disclosed 100 crores. Able to understand? So in this case, I don't have any issue. So what I will do, I will go for giving a good report, that is unmodified report. Able to understand? That is clean report. Understood everyone? But let us say situation is something like this, guys. My expert says that the valuation is 10 crores, but the client has shown it as 100 crores. Now what I will do, I will request the client, sir, you please change this value. Don't show 100 crores, show it as 10 crores. If let us say he objects to this, okay, he says no, Lokesh, whatever you do, I will show it at 100 crores. Then boss, I will give modified audit report. That is in simple terms, if I call bad report, I will be giving. Understood everyone? So that is a reporting angle. Understood this point everyone? Very important, guys, which you have to know. Clear? Okay sir. Now the question arises, now students will start telling, sir, how to remember the audit procedures, sir. Guys, as I say, Okay, so wherever necessary, wherever it feels difficult for you, I will be giving you the memory codes, memory techniques. Now to remember these four also, like there is a small memory technique is there. So memory technique is what? So just remember CUAE. Okay, CUAE. Okay, so Arabian nations. Okay, so basically CUAE, UAE is countries, basically the Arabian nations. CUAE, C stands for what, guys? Okay, so expert. So basically I will get it from UAE country. Able to understand, I will get it from UAE. So basically that's why what happens. So remember the word CUAE for expert. Able to understand this. Now C stands for what? Competence, capabilities, objectivity and competence, capability and objectivity of auditor's expert. U stands for understanding the auditor's expert work. Okay, A stands for agreement with auditor's expert. E stands for evaluation of data and assumptions used in the auditor's expert. Able to understand this? So this is what the memory code. So if you remember the memory code, so 4 points you can remember and you can easily write down in exam. I hope you're getting the clarity. Okay, but guys, already I have said many times, again I'm saying this, memory codes not to be written in examination. Able to understand, this is only for your purpose, guys. So just remember the memory code in exam, just to write the headings name by remembering that. Don't write CUAE. Able to understand this? So just write what? So basically the points. Okay, and explain them, basically that will be more than enough. Got clarity here? So this is completely our standard SA 620. Okay, so this is what you have to know, guys. Okay guys, not only this, now basically the thing is we have to discuss examination questions also. But meanwhile what you can do, so you can just make a note of this aspect, then we can go to the examination questions as well. Okay, so just you can make a note of this. Okay, okay, so write down this, guys. So examination questions part we will discuss in the next particular video. Okay, so you can just make a note of this. Okay, so now let's come to the particular questions in my workbook, guys. So here first let's take up the first question. Okay, so look at this. I hope it's visible. Okay, yes. So the auditor of SS Limited accepted the gratuity liability valuation based on the certificate issued by a qualified actuary. However, the auditor noticed that the retirement age adopted is 65 years as against the existing retirement age of 60 years. The company is considering a proposal to increase the retirement age. Okay, now you have to comment as an auditor. Okay, tell me, guys, what you will do. Simple, guys, actually. So what is it? See, first and foremost, let's understand here. If you remember the procedures, the last point I have said very clearly, auditors should evaluate the data and assumptions used by the auditor's expert. Understood, everyone? Here now what is happening is the existing age, basically retirement age of the company is only 60 years, but he is considering, matlab the expert by mistake he has done with the 65 years valuation. Okay, so basically in this case, tell me, can I accept this? Answer is no. See, guys, here remember, as an auditor, I cannot question the methods followed by the expert. Able to understand this? Why? Because I'm not competent enough in that. Okay, but here the assumption itself is wrong. He has taken an assumption of 65 years, which actually the factual data is what? 60 years only. So in this scenario what happens, guys? So I have to inform to the management saying that the entire valuation report of the expert is wrong. So basically kindly tell him and basically change the valuation and then basically give it a new valuation. Okay, if they do this, I don't have any issues, guys. Otherwise I'm going to give a modified audit report as per SA 705. Okay, simple, guys, because here I have to be alert. I have to activate my professional skepticism. Able to understand this? How can I accept something which is prima facie looking wrong? Able to understand this particular? So this is very important, guys, which we should consider. Clear this particular part, everyone? As simple as this. Okay, okay, sir, this is fine. Then what happens, guys? Understand what is the answer we have to write. Okay, let's understand this. But some students may say that, sir, the company is considering a proposal to increase. Guys, that is future. Okay, why I am bothered about the future aspect? Able to understand what is at present. Based on this, evaluation has to be done. Understood everyone? As simple as this. Now look at the answer. Okay, auditor, due to his limited competence, cannot challenge the methods and assumptions of an expert. Okay, but as per SA 200, he should exercise professional skepticism. So the auditor shall evaluate the adequacy of auditor's expert work for the auditor's purpose, including the relevance and reasonableness of that expert's findings or conclusions and their consistency with other audit evidence which is available as per SA 500. Okay, in view of SF 500 along with SS 620, the assumption is not relevant and consistent. Hence, the auditor is required to communicate to the management and advise the modifications accordingly. In case of the failure of compliance of the same, the auditor may qualify the report. Understood everyone? So this is as simple as this, guys. And one more question was pending for us. As I said, on standards alone we will be discussing 75 to 100 practical questions. In SF 500, one question was pending for us, so let's understand that aspect as well. Okay, so let me come to that particular question, guys. Again, a simple one, no need to worry. You have to tell the answer, right? Okay. Okay, so now look at this, guys. Y Limited engaged an actuary to ascertain its employee cost, gratuity, and leave encashment liabilities. As the auditor of Y Limited, you would like to use the report of the actuary as an audit evidence. How do you evaluate the work of the actuary? First thing, okay, first let's understand here. Okay, so the examination question, guys, as I have already said, I have quoted here May 2011. Guys, May 2011 was the attempt in which I qualified. Okay, and I got 67 marks in final audit. Okay, so now let's come to the question, guys. So now what happens? So question is, already in the standard I have explained this. As an auditor, can I use management expert for my purpose? Yes, no problem. Meaning management expert can also be the auditor's expert. No issues at all. But tell me, guys, here what is that they are asking? How do you evaluate the work of an actuary? Meaning, how do you evaluate the work of an expert? Simple, guys. Before I evaluate, before I use the work of an expert, what I will do? I will perform audit procedures as per SA 620. That is nothing but memory code. If you remember, what is a memory code? CUAE. So if you write this, okay, so basically if you remember CUAE and write the points, you will get full marks in that. Able to understand this? But here very clearly we have to specify SF 500 and also SF 620. Why, guys? Okay, management expert definition is given where? SF 500 they have given. So now we are using management expert as an auditor's expert. Understood everyone? So that's why I have to quote SF 500 also. Okay, so just I will show you the particular first one. Then the second one is only CUAE answer. Okay, auditor can use the work of a management expert, and management expert I have quoted SF 500, meaning I am telling to the paper evaluator I know this standard. Okay, and he can take that as audit evidence provided he exercises adequate skill and care by performing the following procedures as per SS 620. Now what procedures we have to perform? CUAE, that is a memory code. So just you write down that, that will be enough. Understood everyone? So these are few questions which I am discussing with this. Able to understand? Other questions also are there, guys. Again, we will discuss that. So as and when the time comes. Okay. So just basically you have to make a note of it. Okay. I hope you got the clarity on this. Okay. Thank you, guys.